All right, guys. So it's telling me that you can obviously include your audio, but does that mean that you? It doesn't necessarily mean we're live because this hasn't worked before. Oh, cool. All right, perfect. So, guys, welcome back into the EIF Network. Second time this week, as always, your host, EIF owner Carl. And tonight, we are tuning, or having you tune in, to our main event of Extreme Distortion, episode number 283. Now, if you were with us 2 nights ago, you know that we broadcasted the main event of our Superstardom episode, which featured NBC Master versus Aaron for the World Championship on that brand, in which NBC won to get his second world title reign on Superstardom, and he will be, and it was the first of two potential main event title changes. We know it's now going to be NBC Master versus Jetstar at Victory Votes. And by the way, guys, the poll is up. We actually have two polls available for you right now exclusively on our Twitter account. So follow us at EIF Network, and please vote on the responding polls that are available to you there, as well as, of course, we have polls that you can vote on here on Xbox One by sending me messages. And next week, once we have all the polls out, which we should probably by Sunday or Monday, we're going to hope that you guys are going to be able to participate, because I'm going to be doing everything I can to get as many votes at the end. It's one of the things we always crash in on the last week of Victory Votes. And it is also tour week next week, but we'll get to that at a later point. More important matters face us now, because the newest undisputed world champion, Frost, a superstar who is a Hall of Famer here in Extreme International Fighting, and for the first time in his career, which has spanned parts of 6 years, is the undisputed world champion. Tonight, his opponent, many thought would be Hostile Exile. However, we were notified earlier this morning that due to potential and highly likely prior commitments made by Hostile Exile, there is a chance that he will not be able to attend Victory Votes, and for that reason, Hostile, out of respect for the competitors in Extreme International Fighting, as well as the fans and the Undisputed World Championship itself, he has decided not to invoke his rematch clause for the title tonight. So, another superstar steps up, a familiar face, a superstar who has spent some time away from the main event picture but is now ready to return. Because tonight in one-on-one action, here in the main event of Extreme Distortion, it is the undisputed world champion Frost defending against Deathlock. Deathlock is a former undisputed world champion on both brands, Superstardom and ED. He was also a finalist in the 2015 Battle for Glory All-Stars tournament. And while this year he may not have experienced as much success yet, an Intercontinental Championship reign did occur for Deathlock, and he is ready to take the climb back to the top of the mountain. Deathlock is cashing in a title shot, which he has chose to make this a normal match, so it will be made in the elimination normal tag setting. Myself and the number one contender, Hybrid Maniac, will actually be here in attendance viewing this matchup. So, guys, the match is up. Please go ahead and join. This is for Hybrid, Deathlock, and the world champion Frost, who we will also have in-ring introductions for both the competitor and the champion and the challenger prior to the ringing of the bell. We also want to remind you guys that network errors and technical difficulties do sometimes occur. That, in the case, is probably what's happening right now. So, Frost did network error, but guys, it's been happening so much lately. But you know what? Despite that kind of bad news, there's been a lot of good news coming up, especially the cover and date announcements for WWE 2K17 originally was posted, whether it was a leaked date or confirmed at the time, for a release date of October 25th. Now it is back to October 11th, or pushed forward, I guess I should say, 2 weeks to Tuesday, October the 11th. Brock Lesnar, the cover athlete, for the first time on a platform or on a platform game console since the 2003 edition of Here Comes the Pain, which he was the head cover athlete for, although there were some characters in the background of that, including Matt Hardy. We miss you, Matt. But He is going to be the sole cover athlete here for 2K17. Now, whether there's going to be a collector's edition or anything like that, I don't believe that's been revealed yet, but I'm sure something will be announced at a later point. Now, that does somewhat put a stab at exactly our pay-per-view schedule, because over the last couple of years, the game hasn't came out until November or this being kind of, I would classify it as early, mid-October at best. So that is going to kind of throw a wrench into our pay-per-view booking system towards the September, October, November months. So if you guys do like to look ahead on the EIF calendar, I only suggest, in terms of pay-per-views, I do suggest that those 3 months there, kind of take those dates with a grain of salt, because there is a chance that they will not be the dates that are currently available to you on the website. All right, so we'll start by Hybrid Maniac getting in the ring. Remember, Hybrid won a number 1 contenders match against Ratluck convincingly. And earlier this evening, Hybrid defeated a former Intercontinental Champion. In fact, the guy that beat Deathlock for the title, Midnight Mayfire. And that was yet again, or actually rather, it ended up being a no contest. It looked like it was going to be a decimating victory for Hybrid, but Game Connections rendered both his opportunity to win as well as Tripod's, as in the pre-main event earlier this evening. It was Tripod and DZ just a few moments ago. And, unfortunately, the game has those issues. In this match, we're hoping that that will not be the case, as the following contest is your main event of the evening and is scheduled for one fall for the EIF Undisputed World Championship. Introducing first, the challenger, standing in the bottom right corner, from West Virginia, Deathlock! And his opponent standing across the ring from him. This man hails from New Hampshire and is the current reigning and defending EIF Undisputed World Champion. This is Frost! Alright guys, final world title match before victory votes. Winner faces Hybrid Maniac. Deathlock, are you ready? Frost, are you ready? Ding, ding, ding! And here we go. Matching attires, you could almost say, here between these two, as both myself, the rest of you, and the number 1 contender, Hybrid Maniac, begin to watch on as Deathlock starting the match out on the right page in terms of the challenger. And one thing we've noticed that's not carried over from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One is, if you look at that last main world title reign we saw on the 360, it was Brutality's near 6-month Undisputed World Championship reign. Well, since then, there has not been a champion on 2K. Yeah, but we're talking about main champions. So anyway, since we have moved over to the Xbox One on 2K15 and 16. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I have to get out of character. I don't mean, like, who held the last main title. I'm talking about the last, like, big reign that we had. You know, is that. So, exactly. So, anyway, though, guys, as I was saying, getting back to my commentary before Hybrid was insulted, and then I possibly re-insulted him unintentionally. We have not had a World Championship reign on either brand since moving over to the Xbox One to reach the 3-month plateau. In fact, only 3 total reigns on the Xbox One have even hit 2 months. So, I mean, this is a tough time to be a world champion, and Frost is feeling it right now. A lot of guys know about Frost, and a lot of people saying, you know what, this guy didn't really deserve to be the champion in the first place. But you look at the effort he put in throughout his career, throughout 6+ years, which is a long time to compete in this league. And, you know, this is a guy who deserved it. This is a guy who worked his tail off to get to where he is. But, you know, Deathlock is not an easy customer. He's a guy who's been a part of EIF now for 3 years straight through the whole time. Had some times where he may not have been as active as others, but and this is a guy who went from opening shows with ICW Rockstar and now is in main event pictures here in EIF. Main evented WrestleMania 8, had probably the match of the night that night, and right now he is trying to have the match of his career as he is taking it to Frost, who has just been absolutely unresponsive This has got to be a one-touch. Frost is already in comeback mode, guys. The champ is wheeling. And Deathlock kick to the back of Frost, who's just got to try here and get something going. I mean, you know, you got to look, you got to play at a small game right now. I mean, Frost, he hasn't been hit with a finisher. So Deathlock hasn't attempted to finish this match just yet. And, I mean, if you're Frost, honestly, that is a positive. You've got to take that, and you've just got to kind of roll with what you've got right now. So Deathlock now, speaking of roll, yeah, rolling around the ring a little bit and now into a half cross face. And we saw NBC Master beat Aaron 2 nights ago for the championship, but nothing this dominant. Deathlock is trying to send a message, and there's a very small list of guys that people believe in this roster can actually compete with Hybrid Maniac and go toe-to-toe with this guy one-on-one. Deathlock would be a fitting candidate. Hybrid actually brought Deathlock into Extreme International Fighting 3 years ago when we thought was going to be the peak of Hybrid's career, but it has just continued. And so Deathlock may be a student versus master fight. We're not talking about NBC Master. He's fighting Jetstar. And not only that, but in the upcoming tag team tournament, Deathlock and Hybrid Maniac are also tag team partners. So how about that? As a sit-out scoop slam connects for the challengers. So we saw earlier tonight off air the tag team of rivals with EBAMs and Headshot. It didn't work out very well, so you have to wonder if perhaps Deathlock and Hybrid going one-on-one with each other at Victory Votes could potentially be a not good, or could potentially not be a good thing for their tag team tournament chances, but one would probably think not. They're very mature superstars, and Deathlock looking to perhaps get a premature victory there, but Frost says it is not over yet. The champion fights back with a T-bone suplex, and signs of life become apparent. Deathlock using a reversal, probably not the way he would have liked to. It's by rolling out of the ring. Will Frost allow clean entry? All signs point to a yes, and it is true. Frost allowing clean entry. Running uppercut takes out the referee. Deathlock with the finisher, Seth Walker. But the ref is down. But the ref obviously did not get hit too hard. He's right back up, and I don't think this is going to make much of a difference. Do we have a new champion? 2, and just like that, no. Frost hanging in there. 1-0 finisher count. Deathlock rolling Frost over. Lion Salt connects. Deathlock still with half a green bar left. I mean, Frost has just got to hope for anything. He doesn't have his comeback left. Maybe a leverage pin. Maybe, another just timed reversal. Maybe a finisher reversal. I mean, that could be something. Anything right now. That's what Frost has got to hope for. Right hand from Deathlock. A finisher reversal it is. And the world champion gets one back. Mid-move reversal. That'll cost Deathlock 2. And perhaps Deathlock trying to protect there. He knows if Frost would have hit that move, it's very likely that our champion would have ended up with a finisher on his hands. Deathlock with a big kick to the midsection and a big kick response from Frost. Didn't get him a lot of momentum, but it did get him a move on the board. A pair of kicks now. Double arm. Underhook suplex, and Frost does have a finisher in hand. He's got a lot of work still to put in on Deathlock, but Frost is kind of getting his feet under him now as this match is going on. Bit of a combo. Deathlock will stop him. Frost has to be careful. Deathlock went for the finisher again. And Frost reversed it. And now Deathlock is out of reversals. But Deathlock still is in green, and so Frost perhaps maybe factoring that into his decision not to reverse a strike here. Deathlock knows the 4 strikes results in automatic reversal, so he'll pick Frost up. Right hand stopped, and now Frost with the offense. Deathlock does not have a reversal, but one would think he'll regain one after Frost hits another double underhook suplex. And Deathlock is out of green, and all of a sudden Frost is back in this game. Deathlock out of reversals, Deathlock out of finishers, Frost out of reversals, and now Frost with the finisher. The champion knows Deathlock has a lot of health left, but he's hoping he can put him away early. 2 and no. 1-1 finisher count. Frost could have stalled there if he wanted to. When you're out of reversals, that's legal. But that's okay for Frost right now because it's a tie finisher count. He's put in some damage on Deathlock. And now Frost, though, beginning to feel some fatigue here. I mean, he took a heavy hitting beat down at the hands of Deathlock these first few minutes of this match, but certainly a lot of credit has to be given to Frost here. Running knee, nearly knocking the block off of Deathlock, and that's going to force the challenger to retreat to the outside. Clean entry was given earlier, it will be again. And maybe Frost thinking finisher. Deathlock is far away from that thought, but Frost is out of reversals. And Deathlock is too, but Deathlock has the offense now. Right back kick, a second one, a jab, and now Frost in the corner, and Deathlock teeing off Balboa style. Couple of stomps, and now more. Deathlock, what is this? Backing up. Frost is down, and now Deathlock, wait a minute, from the top rope. Leap of faith, or coast to coast. Shattering the ribs of the champion, who is now back to his feet, and Deathlock back on the retreat. Running knee again connects for the world champion. And now we're getting our money's worth. Drop kick reverse. Deathlock is out of reversals. Deathlock just waiting, though. This is a smart move from Deathlock. He's taking his time now with Frost. Right hand, Frost knows he's about to get that second reversal back, and so Frost electing not to use that first one right away. Knee driven into the canvas, and now Frost is beginning to realize, hey, I can win this match, and that's what you have to do. Frost uses a reversal right there. It didn't work out for him, and now Deathlock's got the upper hand again. You reverse those ground strikes, you are taking a risk, and Frost was hoping it would pay off. Some people have the move set to do that, and Frost using a reversal when it was not a finisher. And Frost using a finisher when Deathlock had a reversal. And Frost, what's he doing? Codebreaker! How did he do that? I have no idea how Frost is somehow pulling this off, but he is, and it's a 2-1 finisher count for the champion looking to retain his title. 1, 2, Deathlock kicks out. What a match this has turned into, and you know, Frost was a guy who we thought June 11th, 2016 was going to mark the final match in this guy's career here in EIF. Frost had been upset with his position in the league, has not been happy for a while, and all of a sudden life just flowing into the lungs of Frost. He becomes the undisputed world champion. Thought maybe this guy was going to take the title and leave, but he is here, and he is a fighting champion. And he is also a champion who does not have reversals right now. And Deathlock still has one, and has the momentum, and has a finisher, and is hitting the finisher. 2-2, mandible claw. And perhaps the life of the champion. Wait a minute, was that was a finisher, right? No? It was? Okay. Deathlock looking to win the title, and he does! Well, man, a hell of an effort at the end there from Frost. A bit of a confusing finish, but it is a finishing blow from Deathlock. It will send Frost out of the party, and it will send him back to non-title categories. And so, a very valiant effort from the champion. There were thoughts that a monumental comeback was in store. Deathlock was in green while Frost was in red, and so nobody can deny the EIF Hall of Famer of a good performance here, but unfortunately, it just comes back to that start. Frost not able to get his bearings adjusted immediately, and Deathlock able to find the golden key. And once again, Deathlock has the brass ring and the undisputed world championship, but will it go past 10 days in total? Because that is the amount of time now, as Deathlock will go one-on-one with the man that introduced him to the league and perhaps could be responsible for why Deathlock is even in the position he is in. As the main event for the Undisputed World Championship at Victory Votes, it is now Jetstar and NBC on Superstardom, and on ED, it will be Deathlock and Hybrid Maniac. The poll for whatever stipulations that match could entail will be released at a later date. We're hoping perhaps by the end of tonight or tomorrow. But guys, in the meantime, there are many other polls to vote on. Head over to our EIF website, head over to our Twitter account. make sure you message me here on Xbox One. There's an activity feed poll. We have them all over throughout our social media outlets on or for Extreme International Fighting, of course. So, guys, please make sure that you get to them. Get to the booths. Of course, it is an election year, right? Speaking of that, Purge election year in theaters next week. But either way, I digress. Again, make sure you guys do that. Our next broadcast is coming to you 2 nights from tonight. It is EIF Rewind with Hybrid Maniac, your host. Followed by that, we'll have a night off Saturday, but then Sunday begins EIF Tour. All 7 shows, all 7 days, all right here on the EIF network. So follow us right now to make sure you don't miss any of those broadcasts. And if you missed any of our previous broadcasts and you can't find them in our past broadcast page, head over to YouTube, EIFARCHIVE, that's EIF Archive, and if you go ahead and do that, you can subscribe to our channel and get an opportunity to watch hundreds of videos in our video library, as well as Twitter. Again, check the polls. We've got 2 on Twitter, 2 huge polls announced earlier today, and that is EIF Network, at EIF Network. Again, you can follow us at EIF Network. And for any other information or inquiries you might need to know, I know, I'm getting tongue-tied, but head over to our main website, leaguelineup.com/EIF lives. The website is getting updated, and we've got a good guy in Tripod, our Twitter account, and he's been doing a great job. So Tripod has been promoted now to co-website administrator, and he's doing a great job of helping us out over there. So again, guys, that is all from us here tonight on Extreme Distortion, here tonight on the EIF Network. Deathlock is the new undisputed world champion. Frost is down. Next up, Hybrid Maniac. We'll see you guys next time here on the EIF Network. Until then, have a good one, everyone.